Masha and the Bear. Once upon a time, in a quiet land surrounded by endless forests and gentle hills, there lived a little girl named Masha. She was small in size, but big in spirit, with bright, curious eyes and a laugh that could echo through the trees. Masha lived with her grandparents in a wooden house near the edge of a vast forest. The house was old but warm, filled with the smell of fresh bread, herbal tea, and pine wood smoke from the chimney. Masha was known throughout the village for her endless curiosity. While other children enjoyed playing close to home, Masha dreamed of adventure. She loved to listen to stories about the forest, stories of talking animals, hidden paths, and secrets whispered by the wind. Her grandparents often warned her. "Do not go deep into the forest, Masha," her grandmother would say gently. "It is easy to get lost," her grandfather added, "and not all creatures are friendly." Masha nodded every time, but her heart beat faster whenever she looked at the tall trees beyond the meadow. One sunny morning, the village children gathered to pick berries near the forest. They laughed, sang songs, and filled their baskets with red and blue treasures from the bushes. Masha joined them, promising her grandparents she would stay close. But as often happens with curious hearts, Masha wandered a little farther, and then a little more. Soon the familiar sounds of children faded away. The trees grew taller, the shadows longer, and the forest seemed to breathe around her. When Masha finally stopped and looked around, she realized she was completely alone. Fear slowly replaced excitement. "Masha?" she called. No answer. She turned in every direction, but all she saw were trees, hundreds of them, each one looking the same. And that was when her real adventure began. Masha tried to retrace her steps, but the forest paths twisted like riddles. Every turn looked familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. The sun began to move lower in the sky, and the light filtered through the leaves in golden beams. Tears filled her eyes. "I shouldn't have gone so far," she whispered. As she walked, she noticed animal tracks on the ground, small ones, big ones, some she had never seen before. The forest was alive with sounds, birds calling, branches snapping, the distant howl of the wind. After hours of wandering, Masha grew tired. Her legs hurt, her basket was empty, and her stomach growled. Just as she thought she could not take another step, she saw something unexpected between the trees. A house. Not a human house, but a sturdy wooden cabin with a crooked chimney and a roof covered in moss. Smoke curled gently into the air. Masha's heart leaped with hope. "Someone lives here," she said softly. She walked closer and knocked on the door. No answer. She knocked again. Still nothing. The door creaked open. Inside, the cabin was warm and cozy. There was a large table, wooden chairs, shelves filled with honey jars, and a big bed made of hay and blankets. On the wall hung fishing tools, cooking pots, and strange forest objects. "This is a bear's house," Masha realized suddenly. Before she could react, heavy footsteps echoed outside. The door opened wide, and in stepped the bear. The bear was enormous. His fur was thick and brown, his shoulders wide like tree trunks. His eyes, however, were not cruel. They were deep, thoughtful, and filled with surprise when he saw the little girl standing in his cabin. "Well, well," the bear said in a deep voice. "Who are you, little human?" Masha froze, but she gathered her courage. "My name is Masha. I got lost in the forest." The bear scratched his head. "No one comes this deep into the forest by accident. You are far from your home." Masha nodded. I want to go back, but I don't know the way. The bear thought for a moment. He had lived alone for many years. The forest was quiet, sometimes too quiet. You may stay here, he said slowly, but you cannot leave. The forest is dangerous, and I will not guide you out. Masha's heart sank. You mean I'm trapped? She asked. You will live with me, the bear replied. Cook, clean, and keep me company. Masha did not like this idea at all, but she had no choice. The forest outside was dark and unknown. So Masha stayed. Days turned to weeks. Masha learned how the bear lived. He woke up early, fished in the river, gathered honey, and took long walks through the forest. Masha cooked porridge, swept the floor, and sang songs to herself. The bear was not cruel, but he was firm. He never let Masha go outside alone. Yet Masha was clever. She talked, laughed, and told stories. She asked questions. She observed everything. And she missed her grandparents terribly. Every night, as the bear slept, Masha whispered to herself, I will find a way home. One day, Masha had an idea. Bear, she said sweetly, I miss my grandparents very much. Could you take a basket of food to them? They will be so happy. The bear shook his head. If I take you, you will run away. I won't go with you, Masha replied quickly. I will stay here. Just take the basket. She baked pies, sweet, delicious pies, and placed them carefully in a large basket. But you must promise, she added, not to eat the pies on the way. The bear laughed. I won't, he said. What the bear did not know was that Masha hid inside the basket. The bear lifted the basket onto his back and began the long walk through the forest. As he walked, the smell of pies filled the air. I'll just take one, he muttered. From inside the basket, Masha shouted, I see you, bear! Don't eat the pies! The bear jumped in surprise. How can she see me? He wondered. This happened again and again until finally the bear reached the village. Dogs barked, people shouted. The bear dropped the basket and ran back into the forest. The villagers opened the basket, and there was Masha, safe, smiling, home. Masha ran into her grandparents' arms. Tears of joy filled their eyes. From that day on, Masha never went deep into the forest alone again. And somewhere far away, the bear sat in his cabin, smiling sadly but wisely, knowing that cleverness and kindness are stronger than strength. And so the story ends, but the legend of Masha and the bear lives on forever.